Today I wanted to talk about forgiveness. My friend messaged me the other day and she was telling me all of these things this guy did to her, and she was like, I know that these were wrong, and I know this guy's not in my life anymore, and I know that my life is so much better, but I'm still struggling with forgiving him because not only did he hurt me, but he hurt my family as well. And after reading the list of things that he did to her, I'm like, wow, like that would be so hard to forgive. The things that he did to you were unbelievable, like unimaginable. And I know like it's so hard to forgive, and she doesn't want him to know that he still has it over her. Like, she doesn't want that hate in her heart, and she knows that she just needs to forgive him, but it's hard. Like, it's not easy to forgive people. Whether you are struggling with forgiving someone who has said sorry and they're apologizing and they're bending over backwards to have you forgive them, or whether you're struggling with someone who hasn't said sorry, but you still have this hate in your heart because what they did to you really hurt you and it made you feel bad. But if you're like me, you're stubborn and you're not gonna show people that they have that over you, and you're still gonna be kind and you're still gonna be nice to them because you don't want them to know that they hurt you, even though they did. And even though you're still struggling with that on the inside, whether it's been recently or it's been years, and that person has no idea that you're still struggling with that, and you don't want them to know that, it's not affecting them, but it's hurting you, and it's hurting us on the inside because we're still holding that hate in our heart, and they may not even think about it. They may not even think they did anything wrong to us. So when I'm struggling with forgiveness and having this hate in my heart, I look back to in Matthew 18, and it's the parable of the unmerciful servant, and it starts out by saying, "Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, 'Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother when he sins against me? Up to 7 times?' Jesus answered, 'I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. So I think we often do that. We're like, I have forgiven this person enough, or this person is super hard to forgive. Like, I'm not going to forgive them anymore. I don't want to forgive them. But Jesus is saying to forgive people an infinite number of times, because God forgives us that many times. And, I expect God to forgive me. I do things wrong all the time. We are all sinners. We make mistakes, and we know God's going to forgive us. We don't think, oh, he's not going to forgive me for this, because he says that he's going to forgive you. And what happened in the parable of the unmerciful servant was the servant went to his master, and he owed his master money. Well, the master said, I need my money. Like, I have to have it. But the servant's like, well, have mercy on me. Like, I don't have it. And he said, well, I'm going to sell you and your family to get my money back. And he's like, no, be patient with me, please, please. And so the master says, okay, I'm going to have pity on you. I'm going to be patient. It's okay. Like, he's not going to sell them anymore. He forgives them. Okay. And then that same servant goes out, and he sees another servant who owes him money, and he begins to choke him. He's like, give me my money, like you owe me. And that other servant he's choking is like, please have pity on me. Like, I'll get the money. Be patient with me. And this servant says, no, like, I'm not going to be patient with you. And he said, but he refused. Instead, he went and had the man thrown into prison. So the funny thing is the master had pity, and he forgave this servant, but then when he had to go out and forgive someone else, he didn't. He went and threw him in prison. So that's like God. God is the master who forgives us, yet we still go out and we have trouble forgiving other people, but expect it from God. So if we're going to expect it from God and know that he is going to forgive us, then we need to know to forgive other people. Bless those who curse you. Bless your enemies, because that hate in your heart just consumes you. It just hurts you. It doesn't affect them. Not forgiving someone doesn't affect that other person. They may not even know that in your heart you don't forgive them. It just is what the devil wants. He wants you to have this hate. He doesn't want you to forgive people. He wants you to be sad about it. He doesn't want you to move on with your life, but God says move on. He says forgive those people because he forgives us. He's always going to forgive us. So we need to always forgive, because we look at this and we're like, that servant is so silly. Like, that's ridiculous that the master forgave him, but he won't forgive his servant or the other servant. So that's what God looks at, like, so silly. I'm forgiving these children of mine, yet they're not forgiving the other children of mine. So next time you feel like you're really having a hard time forgiving someone, just know that God forgives you, and we expect that out of God. We know that. We know that God's going to forgive us, and it'll make your life so much better to release that hate, to forgive those. Try to think of positive things, because God made these people. They may be bad and they may hurt you, but that's the devil. That's the devil influencing them. That's the devil telling them what to do. God still made these people. There's good in people, and try to see that. So we'll go together in prayer. Dear God, please help us to forgive others. Please help us to not be like the unmerciful servant who didn't forgive, God, because we want to forgive like you forgive us. We want to forgive those who hurt us, God, because we don't want the hate in our hearts. Just please help us to do so, and please take that out. Please take that hate out, God, and help us to forgive others.